Hi! It has been a while and we are on summer holidays, which has been really, really wonderful. It's nice to take some time to just spend with my family, completely away from our home. We've been at our summer bungalow quite a lot, doing a lot of swimming. We visited the Baltic Sea and yeah, coming home once every week just to do a little bit of work, packaging up orders for all of you guys. Thank you so much for supporting our shop. It has been so fun seeing all of the fun summer sock sets and just yarns that you're putting together. I don't know what you're making. What are you making this summer? Are you making pullovers, socks? Are you preparing for Christmas? Are you making autumn, fall accessories? Are you knitting summer tank tops? I would love to hear. So excited to hear what you guys are all making right now, planning for the future, dreaming up, things like that. I have been knitting a ton of socks. That is what I have been working on. And pretty much all of the socks that I have been knitting lately are knit using our Patreon yarn. We have a Patreon channel where we vlog every 2 to 3 days. And this summer especially, it's pretty much every 3 days. Generally, it's every other day, but we are busy. We're still working through the summer, so we try to get out a vlog every 3 days. For those of you our wonderful, wonderful Patreons, thank you so much. I've been knitting out of our Patreon sock sets and a few like big box yarns as well, being Regia, Arne and Carlos, Fortissima yarn. We can get that at our local Kaufland, which is a supermarket. It is like, what could you even compare it to? I know in Wisconsin, which is where I'm originally from. I'm currently in Germany. I've lived here for 15 years now. And I would say this is similar to a really large Kaufland is similar to like a Woodman's. I have been knitting on socks, as I already mentioned. I'll share with you guys first the big box kind of socks that I've been knitting. So I purchased this yarn at Kaufland. It is the Schüller und Stahl Fortissima, and this is the colorway 2491. These are really kind of crumbled up because I've had them in a basket for quite some time. But I just fell in love with this color. I love this periwinkle denim sort of blue in these socks. So I knit the entire sock using this ball of yarn. I have a little bit left. But I'm really happy with the way that these turned out. I love German sock yarns like the Schüller und Stahl, this pair, and then like Regia. I like that it is a little bit more thick, it's more robust, and the socks seem to last forever. I don't think I have ever had to, dare I say, throw away, because yes, I do that. Do you guys throw away your socks when they get big holes in the bottom? I don't darn them. I knit so many socks that darning a pair of socks would give me no pleasure at all. If you guys could only see my sock box filled with socks, I feel like you'd be pretty impressed. There are a lot of socks in there. Anyway, total side tangent. I love German sock yarns. And we have a new sock yarn in the shop. It's called our Woolly Sock Base is what it's called, and it is an amazing wool yarn with nylon, and it is so perfect for people who still like a superwash yarn but they really love a highly speckled. Let's see if I can share with you one. We've sold out. This isn't in the shop yet, so we're not sold out of this. This will be in the shop next week. This is our drive-through colorway. Isn't it so cool? This is a sock set that will be coming next week. And this is our woolly base. So it dyes up really bright. I've had a lot of questions about it. Almost more saturated. I would say it is more saturated than our general plump sock base, which is still very saturated. Okay, so we have the Schüller und Stahl socks. Those were a lot of fun to knit. And then I knit 2 pair of Arne and Carlos socks by Regia. So this is the first pair that I knit, and I know I did on a Patreon vlog, but I don't think I did yet with all of you about how massive the contrast toe is on all of these Arne and Carlos socks. Unless you have an American size, I would guess 6 foot. Yeah, probably a size women's 6 shoe, or a German, I don't even know what I would say, probably 35, that the contrast toe looks somewhat normal. I think it would look really cool if the cuff was a lot longer. Then I think it wouldn't look so off. But I still like it. I still think it's cool. It's growing on me, definitely. I just think it is quite massive. And then we have a pair of socks that I knit for Robert. And he has really big feet. He wears a size 47. I have no idea what that is in American, UK, any other terms. Sorry. But I knit this pair for him. He saw this yarn. He thought it was so cool. And so his toe, it looks like a tongue, right? It is huge. But I still love these socks. I think the color combo on this pair is so stunning. I originally bought it for myself, but if I'm knitting a pair of socks and somebody who I love looks at them and says, "Oh, I really, really love that pair." That color combination is so cool, so pretty. It's very, very hard for me not to say, "Oh, should I make these the length of your foot? Would you like them for you?" That's what I did with Robert. And he was like, "Yes, I would love them to be made for me." So that is what happened. And he did not have a lot of yarn left by the time I finished those socks. So for those of you who are new to the Arne and Carlos, they're called Perfect socks. And Regia has a lot of different Perfect socks, not just from Arne and Carlos, but it's a kind of a sock that they offer in general. It has usually one color that is for the cuff, heel, and toe. So this is all one skein of yarn. And you start on the leg as soon as you finish that main color. And then right as you're about to get to that contrasting color, you do your heel. And then when you're finished with your heel, you go into your foot, and then it will just start for the toe. So it's really cool. It adds all of that contrast without you having to think, without you having to weave any ends in. And it has always a really nice patterning. It might be stripy, it might be fading, and it might be this sort of color work look, which I love. I can remember when I knit my first pair of self-patterning socks, I showed them to my granny, and she was so impressed because she thought that I did all that color work on my own. And she was just kind of talking about it. And I don't even remember if I corrected her or if I just let her think, which is kind of naughty. I was probably 14 maybe when I used my first self-patterning yarn. I don't remember, but I thought it was great. I thought it was great that she thought it was great. And I ended up gifting those socks to my best friend, Katie, who has a business called Lock and Lou. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of her, but she makes the most gorgeous polymer clay charms. She is really a true artist. If you have not checked out Lock and Lou, you should definitely check it out. Her charms are unlike anything else. I've known her since I was 2 years old in person. She's a real life in-person friend. So she has that pair of socks now, and I had some left over that I kept for ages. And when she had her first daughter, I knit her daughter a matching pair of baby socks. So I'm guessing those are well worn out now. I haven't asked about them, but I should probably send Katie a new pair of socks. I bet she would love them. Okay, now we are on to the socks that I knit. Well, this isn't Patreon yarn. This is a pair of Shorty socks that I knit. And I have a few pair of Jelly Roll socks. I don't remember who that's by. Could it be Erica Luder? It's a pattern I love. She's not selling on Ravelry anymore. And it has some color work in it. This is not the Jelly Roll sock pattern, but this is what inspired this sock. I cast on, I believe, 50 stitches because I like a tighter cuff. I don't like my cuff to kind of hang. So I cast on 50 stitches with a size 2.25 millimeter needle, and I knit for about 2 inches so that I get a really pretty roll down. I did my heel, and then when I was decreasing for my heel stitches, I only decreased down to 56 stitches. And then I did my foot. So this is our Dancing in the Street colorway. I love this color so much. It's so perfect for summer. We have it with some really pretty contrasts in the shop if you want a sock set. Not this one, but I just knit this sock using scrap yarns. So I really, really love these. And I haven't worn them yet. So it will be fun come later summer, autumn time, when I can put on these lower socks with some cute little tennies and some jeans. So I really enjoyed those, and I honestly forgot that I knit them, and it's making me think I should knit some more shorties because this is my only pair that I have in my sock stash. All right, so the next pair of socks that I knit using this Patreon sock set. And this is our drive-in movie sock set. Isn't that pretty? So I didn't use this mini skein with it. I decided to use the 3 mini skeins that we also send off to our Patreons. And that was It's Okay to Be Alone, Marmalade, and Wildflower. So we have a couple of different Patreon tiers. One of them you can get 3 mini skeins, and then the next one you can get 3 mini skeins plus a sock set. And so I used those 3 mini skeins, and then I used the main skein for this pair of socks. It's just a knit 2 purl 2, 60 stitches all the way throughout. Simple stockinette pair of socks. And then I guess we can go on with the finished socks, and then I'll show you the socks that I'm knitting and then a pair of socks that I plan to knit. So this first pair of socks is knit up using our Beach Baby color. This is a colorway that I had planned on being an always in stock colorway sock set in the shop, and it was a colorway gone wrong. So I dyed it. I hated the way that it looked. I dyed it again. Still wasn't happy, and then I dyed it a 3rd time. So I think this was over a 3-day period of dyeing. I've never spent so much time on one colorway. That goes to say this sock set this colorway cannot be reproduced. So I think the sock sets are maybe all gone in the shop. There might be 1 or 2 left. And then we have in stock 100 gram skeins. And once they are gone, they are gone. I will not be dyeing this colorway again. I cannot try. It would be impossible for me to recreate. So this is the Blueberry Waffle. No, this is the Crunkled Sock by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears. Go-to sock pattern for I think a lot of people. And this has our Sunny Side Up tonal along with it. It is so pretty, this colorway. So pretty. I love the crunkled sock pattern. This next sock set is knit using this was knit using our plump merino base. And then this one is knit using our woolly base. So you guys can see how it looks as a sock. This is our Firefly sock set, but all of these sock sets I'm showing we also have available as 100 gram skeins. So you don't just have the option of a sock set. You could knit a sweater, you could knit a shawl, you could combine it for color work. You don't have to get it with these minis. This is such a cool pattern that my friend Melanie, who's a sample sock knitter for us, shared with me. And as soon as I saw this pattern, I thought, I need more socks knit up. I need to knit some socks using this pattern. It is so pretty. And even on a speckled yarn, it's just gorgeous. So this is our Firefly colorway. It has so many pretty speckles in there, really fine throughout. And then we have Electric Feel as the cuff and the heel. And then this is a one-of-a-kind lilac-y gray toned with some kind of electric pops in there. So that's a really fun pair of socks. It's the Guernsey sock pattern by Summer Lee. She is also a pretty genius sock designer. I can't say there's anything she's come out with that I don't like. Okay, so the next pair of socks is the Morning Coffee sock pattern by Kay Litton of the Crazy Sock Lady. Also another fabulous sock designer. But a lot of my socks are knit up using Kay Litton, Kay Jones. You'll see with the next one. The next one's a Kay Litton, Crazy Sock Lady as well. She designs so many pretty sock patterns. Kay, when are you going to design more? I know you said that you're kind of taking a break, obviously, from work in designing sense. But I'm very excited for when you are inspired again, because I love all of the patterns that Kay comes out with. So this is our Garden Tea Party sock set. And this is also a sock set and colorway that was a pure one-of-a-kind. We don't have many 100 gram skeins left in the shop. We're also sold out of DK. We don't have a lot of fingering left. And there are a couple dozen sock sets left in the shop, but that's it. So this is almost gone. And I love this. This is so spring-like, summery. It's just such a happy yarn. And you don't find yellow yarns that often, which is why I always like to have at least one yellow variation of a colorway in our shop. So that will be a sock set and then 100 gram skeins to go along with it. And I think this fall it will be a lot more of a warm yellow. For the summer, I wanted to do something a bit more cool, poppy, vibrant, and I'm really happy that you guys like it. So this is our tulle skirt colorway, and then we have Ditzy there. The final pair of socks is my absolute favorite, and this is our Road Trip colorway. It is so, I don't know, this colorway makes me so happy. I think it's so beautiful. I am really, really proud of this one. I love the way that the contrasting color pairs with the main color. And this is also our woolly base. So this is a Rhinebeck Roomies sock pattern by Kay Litton again. I have something else inspired by Kay Litton, which I'm going to show in just a little bit, but I do have to laugh at myself and kind of have a little embarrassing moment. But you guys, when you see someone who makes things that you like and you're really inspired by the things that they do, you find someone who is interested in kind of the same things you are pattern-wise, and I don't know, why not follow them and be inspired? Like, that's the coolest thing ever, I think. So this is Rhinebeck Roomies by Kay Litton, as I said. And this is just such a gorgeous, fun pattern that you can use for a highly speckled yarn. You can see this yarn is quite busy, but it's a really fun one to knit up because you always get a new color with every few stitches. So I hope you guys love that one as much as I do. Okay, I'm realizing my last finished pair of socks is on my feet. So here is one. Here is one sock. Here's the other sock. Let's put them both up. I'll share with you guys the sock set. It is our Summer Sun sock set. This is a Patreon sock set that was really, really fun to dye up because I don't often dye Patreon sock sets with contrast colors that are similar to the main color. I'm going to take this off my foot so I can give you guys a better look. So this is the contrast color for the sock set, and this is the main color for the sock set. It was really a gamble here because I know a lot of people do not like oranges and yellows, but I'm really, really happy that it seems like my Patreons really like just the sock set in general, because it is something different. I wanted to be able to offer something orange, yellow, pinky, because that's what my heart was asking for when I was dyeing up that yarn. And I try to listen to what my creative inner voice wants to do. And this here is what it wanted to do. And I loved knitting those socks. And I think the yarn is gorgeous, but I think the socks are even more gorgeous. So I'm very, very happy with them. And I'm happy that you guys are happy with them too. So I do have 2 pair of socks on my needles right now. The first one that I'm going to show, I don't remember what it's called. I think it's called Dancing in the Street. I'm pretty positive that's what it's called. And I have one finished. Obviously the ends aren't woven in. So I ended up using this mini for this sock set. And then I also used the mini skein that it came with, which was this pretty one right here. So I do like to play around with a high contrast most of the time. So this is Dancing in the Street. It has a super cute Harry Potter, Gryffindor, Progress Keeper on there, made by Simply Serving. She also makes amazing fandom Progress Keepers. I love that one. And you guys, we're really all over the place with which house I'm in. I am a Gryffindor. I think most people thought I was Hufflepuff or Gryffindor. I think one person guessed Slytherin, which really surprised me. Anyway, this is a knit to purl to, again, 60 stitch sock. And you can see I have some little birch seeds on there. Our bungalow is located in a birch forest, and you find little birch seeds everywhere. So here I have the second one cast on, and this is my favorite charm at the moment. It is this Harry Potter charm, also made by Simply Serving. I've had this charm for a long time, but lately I have been obsessed with all of my Harry Potter themed charms. Obsessed. I've been really, really loving them. We do have a Harry Potter Return to Hogwarts club in the shop right now, if you guys are interested. It does not have a charm, but you do have your choice of 100 gram skein or a sock set on either fingering weight or DK. And the final pair of socks that I'm working on is out of our Slip and Slide, another Patreon colorway. And I ended up knitting the cuff really long on this pair of socks. I would not do that again. I think it looks a bit not so cute. So I did do a knit to, purl to for the whole sock. And up here I just did it on the top of the sock. And it looks ridiculous, to be frank, because it's not blocked. So it just looks like this skinny little weirdly shaped sock. While we were at the Baltic Sea this past weekend, I was knitting while we were all hanging out together, and one of the women we were hanging out with, she asked me, she said, "Why are you knitting such a skinny sock? For whom is that? Who is it going to fit?" And I said, "It will fit me. It will fit, you know, most anyone. It's very, very stretchy." And then I, just stretched it a bit and showed her, and she said, "Oh, I thought those were super skinny socks. I was confused. I've been watching you knit on them and have been wondering for whom they are." Here's the second one. Oh, and I'm knitting this using 56 stitches. The other one was also 56. I said 60, but it was 56. I've gone down 4. I'd like them to be a little bit more tighter. I think my gauge has loosened up a little bit. It's either loosened up or I've just started wearing my socks and realized they're a little bit too loose. I'm not sure which one. So I'm on the contrast here, and I really love this contrast color with the Slip and Slide colorway. Very, very pretty. Already thinking about September's Patreon yarn. That's the one that will be shipped out after this. And I think it's going to be something Halloween-y because they will arrive No, they will arrive the end of September. And in October, everyone wants to be knitting on spooky, Halloweeny, autumnal yarn. So that will be a lot of fun. And that means that I get to start knitting on autumnal fun socks sometime soon, in the next month or so. So the final thing that I finished is this shawl for my dad. So this is the Alpine shawl. And this is a design by myself that hopefully will be on Ravelry at some point. The reason why I laugh, and some of you will be like, why is that so funny? Is because this design has been, I think I've knit 4 of these now. I started knitting this sometime between 5 and 10 years ago. And the design is written up. It literally just needs photographs. And that's all that it has needed for, it's pretty much since I finished this. So I knit this using our bookworm colorway. That's that really pretty orange with those speckles in there. And then for the contrast, I used our blackberry jam colorway. My dad chose these colors, so this will be a shawl for him. These are also socks for him. You guys can tell he likes orange. And then I'm going to use blackberry jam to knit him a hat. I think I'm going to use the sockhead hat just because it's the only fingering weight hat that I can find that I think he would like. He does not want something slouchy, which is what the sockhead is, but I'll just obviously knit it shorter. If you guys have an idea of a great sock pattern, I would love to know. The other 2 things that I have knit are these Wisby mitts. It is a pattern by Pia Kamaborn. And it is so cute. So for Advent, I've always made the girls each a gift to open every Sunday of Advent. It usually includes socks, leg warmers, an ornament, and then something little to play with, mittens. It could be so many different things. It's always a pair of socks or leg warmers and an ornament, and then 2 other things that I choose as I please. So I've already finished their socks. I've already finished their ornaments. Actually, they're not finished. They each need a thumb. So you could do this pattern without a thumb, but I chose to do the thumb. I think it will be nice to have that little thumb. This one is for my youngest and this one is for my oldest. These are their favorite colors. Although the funny thing is this one has changed from green to pink. I think she'll love it anyway. And this was a really fun pattern. I knit it using our non-superwash yarns. This one is Jello and Fresh Sheets. Jello is that really vibrant purple. And this is Fern and Fresh Sheets. I think for color work, Fresh Sheets is always a great option. So the next pair of socks that I want to cast on is, again, purely inspired by Kay Litton of the Crazy Sock Lady. She knit a reds, pinks, and blue sock with a cream base. And I thought this pair of socks, the amount of striping that she did, the spacing that she did in between her minis was absolutely gorgeous. It caught my eye every time she showed it on her Instagram stories, when she showed it on her podcast, when it was snapped in a picture. I loved this sock and I thought I need to cast a pair on. And I've had these Christmas minis laying around since last Christmas. It is a set that I absolutely adore and I plan on recreating this winter season. And so I thought, I know it's only July, but Advent season is my favorite season of the entire year. So I think it will be really fun once I finish these 2 pair of socks to cast on this Christmassy pair of socks. So what it is you start with one color and you do 4 stripes of that color, then you do 2 stripes of white. You choose your next color, 4 stripes, 2 stripes, 4 stripes, 2 stripes, so on and so forth. And I'm very excited to do it. I think it will be a lot of fun to knit. And I think it will really fly because I think it will be so much fun. It will be quite addictive when I'm knitting it. I can't wait to cast those on. I also have to cast on the hat for my dad. Thank you, Melanie, for the reminder. It's nice that one of you guys keeps me in check. And I need to cast on my mom's sweater. I can't remember what it's called. It's the one that I knit by Caitlin Hunter. I'm going to be knitting it using fresh sheets, steel, hopscotch, and, oh, it's too far away. She wants me to use Avada Kedavra, which is a gorgeous green colorway that will go along with this as well. So I have some fun plans for my future. I have a little bit of dyeing to do because I don't have the Avada Kedavra on the non-superwash DK, which is what I'm going to be using for my mom's sweater. It has been such a joy chatting with you all. We are really enjoying the warm, hot weather, being at the water, our bungalow, and just taking time to spend with one another. It's been really, really lovely. Robert, my husband, his parents, they have a bungalow, probably 2-minute walk from our bungalow. So it is so nice all summer to say, hey, we're heading down to the water. Would you like to come down to the water and go swimming with us? Or we're grilling tonight. Would you like to come over and grill with us? Or Robert's mom, Renata, will call me and say, oh, I'm making zucchini pfanne, which is a really delicious zucchini dish with feta cheese and ground beef, and it is so delicious. And she'll just call us over and it's just been so nice spending so much time together. So I hope you guys are also having those memories as well, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.